na Boko Tonyora asorogon Bogusi Niji County Chito Etanaine una County ya Kisii, Nyamira, Homa Bay, Bomet, Kisumu, Migori Nichisemo Chinde Chinyinge Nigo Tonyora aside kode ya Star Times Channel 195, Go TV Channel 824 na free to air decoders, Digital TV na Smart TV.
Bwana Waziri, we also have the county security team. He has the upstanding. We have the county police commander, and then we have the CCIO. Then we have the DCCs, the upstanding police, my colleagues. Salute. Thank you so much. And then we have the ACCs. Salute. Then we have the representative from National Police Service. Salute. Then we have other officers from the county government, please. Wale ambao hawajasimama, tafadhali msimame tu tuonekane. Wave. Thank you so much. Then we have heads of department, national government. Thank you. Then they have the business community. Asanteni. So without wasting time, I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the county commissioner to welcome the team here. Tunakaribisha waziri wetu hapa Kisii County. We are ready to listen to what the plan has, the government plan has, and for your information, this plan, as you are going to get from the presentations, this plan is part of it incorporates the better agenda, which is a bottom-up economic transformation agenda. It's also part of the larger Vision 2030 blueprint. So we are going to learn more as we go on. So mine is just to welcome you, Waziri, na team ambao wamekuja nayo. And my name is Chege Maina, DCC. I'm representing the CC. So let me take this, I don't want to waste a lot of time. I want to take this opportunity to welcome Madam Director, so that she can do her brief overview and introduction. So I'm being informed that because we have a representative from the county government, let us have Mr. Ondabu to welcome us also in this county on behalf of the governor and the county secretary. So briefly, Mr. Ondabu, my former boss.
May I take this opportunity again to thank you for coming to Kisii County. The cabinet secretary, Honorable Machogu, this is your home, and we are happy that you have come here for this particular meeting. Just because of time, we may not have enough time with you, but for the short time you'll be with us, we know you'll take us through this public participation of today. The governor and the county commissioner and the county secretary should have been with us here. They are in a meeting, and they said if they finish earlier, one of them may join us anytime. So currently, all the CCs are present here, and I'm representing the governor. And I know that everything will be okay from the beginning up to the end. We have Waziri Finance who's here, who is going to give his report. And the people the economists are here, they are well prepared. I think we'll have no problem. So, County Commissioner, please, let's continue so that we save time. The CC.
Thank you, Mr. Ondabu. And now, I want to take this opportunity again. We prepare our hands, tumkaribishe waziri na yeye atukaribishe hapa katika hii hafla so that we can continue with the rest of the presentation. So nafikiri
thank you very much. In neighboring county, the Mira, we were also covered. We are now here. One will ask what is the purpose of this particular assignment and exercise. We had in the year 2024, something happened in this country, in the year 2008, where we set ourselves to implement and do certain things as far as the development of this country was concerned. And we say it's on the 2030, during the time of the late His Excellency Mwai Kibaki, when he was the president of this country. And during that particular time, we know what is contained in that document of Vision 2030. But even as human beings, as any community, we will say one thing, that where there is no vision, there is no what? People do what? We are all Christians. Now, where there is no vision, people, so you can be able to understand how important it was for that document. One great man also said, I think, by the name of Benjamin Franklin, that if you run a brand, if you fail to brand, and you are branding to fail, listen, if you fail to brand, then for sure you have branding to fail. And ever since the time that the road was done for Vision 2030, the first 5 years, there were priorities which were identified by the national government, and the national government embarked on implementing those particular priorities. During which time, as we are aware, we do not have enough county governments because the county governments came in 2013 after us coming out with the new 2010 constitution. And it is therefore the fourth part of the implementation of this particular Vision 2030. We had one. We were able to implement the first one. It took 5 years. Second one, 5 years. The third one. We are now on the fourth one. And there are so many lessons in that. There are so many challenges we might have encountered during the time which we were implementing this particular plan. They have so many successes. They have been able to register during time that we were implementing this plan. And there are lessons around in the course of implementing this plan. And one of them is that, yes, at the national level, we must align our plan with the counties because, for sure, we are serving the same people. We have one country, and we can only be able to achieve Vision 2030 once we are properly aligned, and once we ensure from the national government perspective, we are doing what is expected of us, and what is expected in the county governments is also big now. So that alignment is one main reason why we are spreading out into each and every county so that we are able to compare the notes. Two is that, of course, We don't want anybody to be left behind. In the Kenya Past administration, we know that we want the participation of each and every person. The success of the plan, the success of this organization, will entirely depend on the contribution and the participation of each and every Kenyan. And that's why we say we have to know the counties. And this make the past that people are informed, people knew that, because we want to make sure that for the success of this fourth plan, each and every one of us is effectively informed. So we have to come and we understand clearly the contents as contained in that particular plan, and also the county integrated development plans. So basically, it's about that. And you also know that broadly, the Vision 2030 was based on three main pillars. One major pillar being political, where we said, yes, ever since the time we attained our independence, our politics is based on ethnicity. And moving forward, we said we want our politics to be based on issues, to be based on ideas, and not even personalities. You can assist me, I'm sure you have been in this country for some time, you can be able to assess where we are. Because as it were, once we set a proper environment for people to be able to deliver, to be able to work, we are able to traverse from one part of the country to another, because we are such one big family known as Kenyans, and we are not supposed to think or do our things in a way that defines where we come from. Diversity is a form of strength, and we said we should be able to do our politics in a manner that will be able to ensure that we are able to achieve the goals and objectives we have set as a country. The other very important thing, as you know, was on economic, and even before that, the overall objective was to make this country a middle-level income country, an industrialized country where there was good quality of life. And therefore, all these other things now, parameters, were to be put in to ensure that Kenya by 2030 becomes a middle-level income country and a country which is actually industrialized. Some of them, when you also do an assessment, is achieved because as of now, Kenya is ranked as a lower middle income country. And of course, we aspire that we should be able to take this country to another level where we get into an upper income country. And that can only be realized once each and every one of us gives a contribution in order to make economic growth of this country to grow by a double digit. Because from last year and the year before, I think our economic growth in the year 2022 was about 4.2%. Last year, it was 5.6%. The greatest percentage we have ever achieved ever since the launch of this particular plan, I think was the year 2007-2008, where the economic growth of this country was 8.1%, almost getting to the double digit where we aspire to be, because this particular document, we did indicate that in order for us to be industrialized, in order for us to be able to be a middle-level upper income earning country, we must get to a double-digit economic growth. And as of now, 2023, we were at 5.6. So the economic areas where, particularly with the bottom-up economic transformation, what is it we are supposed to do in order to make sure that we attain the goals and objectives as set in the year 2008. And my directors here are going to make it possible for us to understand what is it we want to do as a country, individually and collectively, such that in totality then we can be able to achieve the kind of objectives set as a country. Finally, we also identified the social pillar where education, matters to do with health, social protection come in. As you know, the key to success, the real master key is matters education, because we said we have to make our people acquire the necessary required knowledge so that they can then be able to participate effectively in the economic, socio-economic development of this country. And even for us to be able to industrialize, people must be able to acquire the necessary required technical and other competencies, skills, so that we can be able to industrialize. Because if you see where internationally the world is now, we are saying we are at the fourth industrial revolution. Yes, what is it that is happening in the fourth industrial revolution? Were we there? And what was our contribution during the first industrial revolution? You find it's a stage that we were almost bypassed. The second, the third. In order for us as a country to compete with the rest of the world, we must try to be where the world is. People are now talking of artificial intelligence, robotics, all that. So that's why we also say, as a country, we really have to do what is required so that we are able to compete with the other parts of the world. Because if it is Kisii County, like today, the county team is here, you know the contribution of manufacturing to GDP in this country of Kisii County, CC, the one dealing with education. Our contribution is how much in Kisii County? Manufacturing to GDP. What is the contribution of Kisii County as far as manufacturing is concerned to GDP? Huh? 2%? Yes. Can you tell them what kind of manufacturing is going on in Kisii County? Yeah, thank you. The only kind of a little bit of manufacturing which we can say is processing of tea. The factories that we have in Kisii County. So the contribution of Kisii County to GDP is 0.7%. Situko hapo. Yeah, you know what we used to do some years before. I remember we had a factory here making barbed wire. Iko siku hizi. We had a factory here making nails. Siku hizi iko. Hata mkate nasikia tunatengeneza hata mkate. Hata mkate kutengeneza hapa hakuna. Soda, we had Coca-Cola, we don't have it anymore. So our contribution to GDP is only 0.7%. What is it that we require to do as Kisii people? And one of the targets which has been set is that we have to enhance our manufacturing as a country from what it is now, 6-7% to around 17%. We have to expand the pace, the pyramid. Actually, that is essentially what bottom-up economic transformation is all about. Because, again, if you come to the bracket, the people who are paying taxes, and you look at the pyramid, it's only the people who are at the very top. In order for us to grow the economy, we said no Kenyan, nobody should be able to be left behind, and therefore we, as a government, may it be county government, all national government, providing opportunities in order for each and every one of us to be able to participate. And today, we were being asked a question everywhere we went, from Migori to Nyamira. And I know when it comes to plenary, it will also come up. But in order now to activate each and every one of us, let me also ask a question to any one of us. The amount that we collect as a country in the form of revenue in any given year is about how much? Ile pesa tunakusanya ngapi? Naona rafiki yangu huko anataka kujibu. Yes. Tena ni wewe, nataka mwingine. Undabu watu wako wako wapi? This is basic information that each and every Kenyan is supposed to know. Hakuna mtu anajua? Kaunti ni ngapi? Ndabu anasema ya kaunti, tuambie ya kaunti basi. Yeah, Migori County, as we were being given a report, they correct. Their target is 600 million. What they get from national government is 8.1 billion. And what they also get from development partners, another about 1.2 billion. And so far, they have been able to correct 420. Nyamira told us their target is about 350. So far, they collect about 284 million. Now, the amount that we collect in any given year, I'm dealing with this so that sometimes when there is a little bit of delay, you are able to understand why. We collect 2.2 billion, 2.2 trillion, 2.2 trillion. There is something we call public debt. Ile ikiokoto tena lazima ilipe kwanza ni nini? Madeni. Tuko na madeni ya shilingi ngapi? Kisii County muko sawa? Mbuya mole? Enchare walieta wasengi? Si hiyo ndio njia ya kuelewana? Public debt is how much? When the Ruto administration took over, it was how much? After Kibaki ilikuwa ngapi? Mse waambie wewe tumekaa nchi hii kwa miaka unajua. Watavyo mwaka. After Kibaki's 10 years, the public debt was 1.6 trillion. 10 years. After 2022, it was 8.7 trillion. And the maximum that we should be able to pour as a country is not anything beyond 10 trillion. Siyo mnajua? And in any given year, we have to pay 1.2 trillion public debt. Hiyo lazima ilipo hiyo. Unless we pay, then Kenya will be classified as a banana republic. And you know the consequences of being declared as a banana republic, if at all we are not able to pay that. So our first priority is to ensure that that particular public debt is paid. The second one is public wage bill. Another almost 1 trillion. 1.2 plus 1 trillion imefika ngapi? Counties, almost 400 billion. That is already 2.6 trillion. Kuchapatia Machogu ya capitation ya mashule ya primary, ya mashule ya secondary, ya university, TVET institution, uchachenga parapara. Kwa hivyo si mnaona lazima tufanye bidii jameni. Ya lazima tufanye bidii in order to make things balance. And in order for us to be able to broaden the revenue base, we have to look at that pyramid and start from the bottom. How you see that we are supposed, and how you see that we can empower the person at the bottom so that he can also be able to contribute to the socio-economic development of this country. He can also, in one way or the other, be able to contribute to generating income and revenue for the benefit of this country. So, hiyo ilikuwa kionjo to provoke you guys as we now listen to the presenters. I want my officers from the national government to come forward. My officers from national government, I'm gonna come. Let me come. Na mwingine amepaki kama. Nataka kila mtu ajisemee jina ndio mwajue.
Thanks, CS. My name is Masini Chwara, Director of Planning, Ministry of Education, Basic Education.
Hii ndume tunafanya kazi pamoja. Madam.
Good afternoon. My name is Pamela Ngwe, Director of Planning, State Department of Economic Planning.
Good afternoon. My name is Johnny Nyangena. I'm a Chief Economist in the State Department for Higher Education and Research.
Thank you, CS. Good afternoon. My name is Godard Imbogo, an economist at the State Department for Economic Planning Headquarters. Thank you.
Thank you, CS. My name is Anthony Owino, economist from the State Department for Economic Planning.
Sasa nafikiri mwakilishi wa gavana tutakuwa na presentations mbili, moja from national government and another one from county government, and then from there we will have the speech from His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya. After that we will have plenary and then the way forward Arabu Tufunge. Thank you.
So we are at the level of presentations. Now, as the Waziri has said, we have two. One from the national government and one from the county government. So we are starting with Mr. Imbogo.
Okay. Good afternoon again. Good afternoon, everyone. Our Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Ezekiel Machogu, representative of the county government, representative of the county commissioner, and all protocols. Again, good afternoon. Okay, this is what we call reading from in front. You've heard what our CS has said. He has in fact taken you through the entire Vision 2030 document, and he has gone into details. Now he has said that my work is done. But let me just say, where we are here from the national government, he is our team leader in this. We are here to share with you the fourth medium-term plan of Vision 2030, which was approved by the cabinet back in November 2023 and was launched by His Excellency, the President, on 21st March 2024. When you are talking of the MTP3, let me call it MTP3, that is the medium term 4. We must talk of the Vision 2030, which our CS has really taken you through. But let me just based on this, Vision 2030 is our long-term development blueprint covering the period 2008 to 2030. And it aims at, as he has put it correctly, it aims at to create a globally competitive, prosperous, and high quality of life for all our citizens. And its main objective is to transform Kenya into a new industrializing, middle-income country with high quality of life for all its citizens by the year, in a clean and secure environment by the year 2030. Let's just reflect on a few things. He has said it all. Let's say 2018 when 2008, don't even go to 2030. They say 2008 to 2024, where we are today. How do you feel? I can see where you are seated. You look all nice because of that transformation which has taken place all this time. But where were you back in 2008? Just reflect on your own. You may be working that time, but were you staying in that house you are staying today? Most of you may have been in a single house, single room, and now you've moved to that where you have. How are you traveling to work? Probably by public means. Nowadays, I'm seeing machines outside there. That is the transformation we are talking about, but we are not yet where we are supposed to be. When we say a middle-income country for providing a high quality of life for all its citizens, well, we must be all in the same boat to say we have now reached that area, but I know we are really working towards that. Also, let me say where we're here. The Vision 2030 is being implemented through successful 5-year medium-term plans, which started back in 2008. So far, we have got 3. The first one started in 2008 to 2012. The second one went from 2013 to 2017. The fourth one, 2018 to 2022. We have now the fourth one where we are here. The fourth one is we run from 2023 to 2027. And the last one, which is the 2023-2027, is the last of the 5-year plan for the Vision 2030, and it translates to the new long-term plan for the country. So that's why we're here for the 4th medium-term plan, and our aim, the objective of this meeting is to sensitize the public of the government transformation agenda contained in this medium-term plan 2023-2027, which is the 4th, and also to showcase the government's achievements so far made as per the commitments for the citizens. So, without repeating so many things, let me now welcome one of the officers, and upcoming, one of my colleagues, who is an upcoming scholar, to take us through a detailed MTP4 details. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Director. My name is Godard Imbogo, as I introduced myself. Bwana CS, county government representatives, the administration present, and all participants, I greet you this afternoon. Amjamboni. I really like the approach of Waziri he could get you off guard just by throwing a question at you. I have a feeling that the mood in the room, Ninja, I might have to request you to help me to make this presentation. One thing I have to say is that the Kenya Vision 2030 is a collective aspiration for all of us. So basically that means we are the architects of this document. We are the architects of these government plans. Because some time back, if you can remember very well, this has been part of an ongoing consultative process. We came around seeking your views as we were preparing the document, 2022 around August. I'm sure you can recall. So we went back and we did all we could to make sure that all your proposals are captured in the document for the general economic progress. Reflecting back to the, as we are just coming from the Madaraka Day celebrations, the President echoed the importance of national development. And he brought it down, he cascaded it down to how we have come through the journey from independence, through a journey of sacrifice, through a journey of failure. And one thing he said, that each and every one of us needs to pursue the progress and prosperity of our households, families, and nation. So the aspect of planning can be brought down to the very granular unit, the family and the individual. I was really impressed when the CS threw those questions. Being the inhabitants of this beautiful county, you ought to know those figures, like the share of manufacturing to GDP, you know. So allow me, in the interest of time, to go straight to the presentation. This is why we are here. We are here to sensitize you on the government's transformative agenda contained in the 4th Medium-Term Plan 2023-2027. And as the director has pointed out, it was launched on 21st March this year. So we are here to showcase the government's achievements made and to seek your buy-in and support and goodwill towards the implementation of the projects and programs contained in this document. So what am I saying in short? You are the people who are going to make it work in as much as Kisii County is concerned. So be alert. I'll need to remind you there is lunch after this. Try and focus because this is matters. It really concerns you at personal level. Thank you very much. So this is the outline of the presentation. I'll take you through the National Development Planning Framework, which dates back to the sessional paper number 10 of 1965, sessional paper number 1 of 1985, sessional paper number 2 of 1996, and previous national development plans. And some of you can recall the economic recovery strategy for wealth and employment creation that came with the government from 2002. I'll also look at this plan, the 4th medium-term plan, in the context of the Kenya Vision 2030. We are all familiar with the Kenya Vision 2030. We know where it came from, we know how it was incepted, and we have been part of the process in one or another way. And then, in keeping with the constitutional provisions, we have Article 232 of the Constitution, which clearly articulates the involvement of the people in the process of public policy making, and Article 10 of the Constitution on the national values and principles of governance, which touches on democracy and public participation. So why are we here? We have that constitutional underpinning, which is very important on that consultative process for the MTP4 2023. So this is an important process both for you and for the general economic progress. We look at the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. We'll go through the pillars, objectives, priority and other value chains, and the implementation frameworks in regard to the sectors. Now we'll also look at the sectors within the new framework, the beta. We look at the macroeconomic framework, and we look at the highlights of the fourth medium plan sector priorities. And now coming back home, we look at the priority projects captured in this document for now the county of Kisii. So we'll move. I'm hoping you're with me. Now, this is the National Development Planning Framework. As I said, we had the sessional papers. We had the National Development Plans, Economic Recovery, which form the basis of the Kenya Vision 2030, which is well integrated. It integrates the international commitments, the SDGs, the Agenda 2053. It also integrates the master plan and strategies, the Kenya National, for example, the Kenya National Spatial Plan, Kenya National Digital Master Plan, National Water Master Plan, and County Long-Term Development Plans. And then we have the implementation of the Kenya Vision 2030 is rolled out in how many years? In 5-year term plans. Hello? I'll ask a question to that gentleman there. How many years does the plan have? The MTP? Yes? Okay, so the Kenya Vision 2030 is rolled out in medium-term plans, five-year term plans, which began from 2008. Now we are on the fourth one. The last one ended in the year 2022. The MTPs are linked to the county integrated, the CIDPs. You will see the presentation that will be made on the linkage between the county integrated development plans and the medium-term plans. Ideally, the CIDPs are supposed to follow the same approach and framework as the one on the medium-term plans. Then going down, we have the sector plans, which informs the development of the medium-term plans. We have the MDAs, county governments, the strategic plans, the 5-year plans that set the tone for development in MDAs, ministries, departments, and agencies. And it goes down to the annual performance contracts that binds all agencies to adhere to set government projects, to the implementation of set programs and projects. Now, this is the Kenya Vision 2030. In summary, we had the first MTP in 2008 to 2012. We had the second MTP 2013 to 2017. We had the third MTP 2018 to 2022. And this is where we are now. Hello? Okay. So the Kenya Vision 2030 aims to create a globally competitive and prosperous country with a high quality of life. Its objective was to transform Kenya into a newly industrializing middle-income country, providing a high quality of life to all its citizens in a clean and secure environment by the year 2030. So the consultative process that we have had to go through in developing this document, we have the National Stakeholder Forum that builds consensus on stakeholders. Sorry. We had the National Stakeholder Forum. We had the county consultation forums in the 47 counties. We went through the 47 counties to get your views, and now we are here with the document. The MTP sector working groups were constituted and was made up of relevant stakeholders. We had the county, the National Validation Forum, which happened, after which we had the county consultation clinics. And after the new government came into force, we had a series of engagements with the president's team of economic advisors to now look into how we are going to align the medium-term plan with a better. Okay? Now, what is the better? Hello? You're familiar with beta? You are familiar with beta? Okay. So beta is a government's transformation agenda geared towards economic turnaround through a value chain approach. Beta ensures one, rational resource allocation by eliminating wastage of resources occasioned by duplication, fragmentation, and ineffective coordination in the implementation of programs and projects. It's also geared towards economic turnaround through a value chain approach. Talking about the value chains, we have a number of priority value chains identified by the government in this. We have leather and leather products, we have textile and apparel, we have dairy, we have edible oil, we have tea, we have rice, we have blue economy, we have mineral, we have forestry, we have construction and building materials. Other priority areas are maize, potatoes, pyrethrum, beef, coffee, apiculture, indigenous poultry, and other specific value chains. Then we also have, the beta has targeted sectors with most impact to drive economic recovery. What are these sectors? The sectors include finance and production, infrastructure. There are 5 sectors: finance and production, infrastructure, social, environment and natural resources, governance and public administration. Then lastly, we have MTP4, which has now been aligned to beta. And this will provide an impetus for the achievement of the Kenya Vision 2030 objectives. These are the value chains. These are the 5 sectors: finance and production, infrastructure, social, environment and natural resources, governance and public administration. Now, okay, we have this 5 beta core pillars, which forms the basis of MTP4 macroeconomic framework, which has a projection of a real GDP growth rate of 4.8%. We are projecting the economy to grow from 4.8% in 2022-2023 to 7.2% in 2027 to 2028. How will this work? We have agriculture as one of the core pillars, raising agricultural productivity, transforming the MSME economy, increasing investment in housing and settlement by constructing 200,000 housing units annually. We are also seeking to strengthen healthcare by enrollment of 85% of households to the social health insurance scheme. Yeah. Okay. And then lastly, we seek to invest in digital superhighway and creative economy through construction of 100,000 kilometers of national fiber optic connectivity network. Now, we have the objectives of the beta. One is to bring down the cost of living by lowering the annual inflation rate to 5%, eradicating hunger, creating 1,200,000 jobs annually, increasing revenue collection to 19.7% GDP by 2027-2028 by expanding the tax base, improving foreign exchange balance through promotion of exports in order to improve reserves to 6.1, achieve inclusive growth. That's where we're talking about leaving no one behind. Now, let's look at the overall and sector growth projections. Finance and production. These are the figures which we are projecting over from 2022 to 2027 on finance and production, infrastructure, social, environment and natural resources, government and public administration, which will lead to an overall growth rate of 4.8%, and on the other end, we are forecasting a growth rate of 7.2 in 2027. Now let's look at the sectors in detail, the 5 beta sectors. Let's begin with finance and production. These are the elements. We have MSME development on that other side. We are also looking at the targets under finance and production. First target is to enhance revenue collection. Target number 2 is to enhance MSME development. How does the government seek to do that? Equip 200 constituency industrial development centers with common user facility and to secure working spaces in each and every county. How will the government enhance MSME development? Is to enhance financial inclusion funds. We have the Hustler Uwezo Fund, where the government seeks to invest 250 billion financial inclusion within the medium term. So we have MSME development. It can only be enhanced through financial inclusion funds, where small businesses can be promoted. Then we have special economic zones. The government targets to establish and operationalize 25 special economic zones and 100 EPZs in Nairobi, Dongokundu, Kisumu, Lamu, and Athi River. The government also targets to operationalize 15 logistics bases and distribution hubs, and also to establish 5 warehouses. This will in a big way enhance promotion of cross-border trade. And we also have macroeconomic modeling and forecasting. We have county aggregation and industrial parks. We have promotion of cross-border trade. I've spoken of financial inclusion. We have food security, crop diversification. We have livestock and crop value chains. What does livestock entail? Livestock entails production of 18,900 metric tons of leather annually, creation of 100 jobs created from leather value chain, 6,739 million liters of milk to be processed annually. Crop value chains entail production of 400,000 metric tons of rice annually, 400 metric tons of Irish potatoes annually, 400,000 metric tons of edible oils annually, 200,000 metric tons of cotton annually, and also subsidization of fertilizer. Provision of 260 metric tons of subsidized fertilizers and 200 metric tons of drought-resistant seeds distributed. Then we also target under crop value chains. We also target 500 million 90 kg bags of maize produced annually. We also target to produce 150,000 metric tons of clean coffee and 745,000 metric tons of tea produced annually. These are the figures. On to infrastructure, which is the second sector. On infrastructure, okay, the government targets generation and distribution of renewable and alternative energy sources, talking about wind, solar, and hydro. How does it intend to do that? By ensuring 90% of national power generation capacity from clean sources, construction of 2,900 230 kilometers of high voltage transmission lines and 37 associated substations also constructed. Also tied to that is power distribution and access to electricity, where the government targets 2.3 million of new customers connected to electricity. Then we have the congestion of Nairobi metropolitan area, the BRT. We have construction and maintenance of 250 footbridges and jetties. We have construction of 200,000 houses per year. We have development of digital access and creative economy infrastructure. And finally, we have construction, rehabilitation, and operationalization of ports. These are the figures. On to social sector. We have inclusion of persons with disabilities in national development. Inclusion of persons with disabilities, how will that be achieved? Enrollment of 147,758 learners with special needs and disabilities in public primary schools. We have health financing, where the government seeks to ensure 85% of Kenyans are enrolled in the social health insurance scheme, and also the operationalization of health emergency of chronic disease fund. We have the integrated health management information system. Under this, the government looks towards the digitization of 8,040 health facilities. Tied to that is the community health impact interventions, under which the government targets operationalization of 315 primary healthcare networks, establishment of 315 multidisciplinary teams for each PCN, and operationalization of additional 850 community health units. We also have education reforms, which is also tied to universal primary education. What does universal primary education entail? It will entail provision of cash assistance to 3,103,000 orphans and vulnerable children, older persons, and older persons with severe disabilities. We have street family rehabilitation. We have safety net programs. We have public safety net programs. We have public service reforms. We have sports and arts infrastructural development. Those are the targets under the social sector. These are the figures. I'll just go through in the interest of time. Let's go to environment and natural resources, which is the other sector. Under environment and natural resources, the government targets climate change mitigation and adaptation. It also targets ocean governance and maritime management. It targets formalization of artisanal mining operations. Artisanal mining operations will entail establishment of 500 artisanal mining circles, registration of 500 artisanal mining cooperatives. Then the other target will be alternative energy technologies down there, where the government targets construction of 300 biogas plants in counties and development of 195 energy efficient charcoal kilns. We have agroforestry woodlots in Asals, where the government seeks to establish 1 million hectares of agroforestry in farmlands, restoration of 500,000 hectares of degraded asphalt landscape. Then we have the National Tree Growing and Restoration Campaign, where the government seeks to plant 7.5 billion seedlings on different landscapes, rehabilitation of 3.5 million hectares of degraded and forest areas and landscape through protection of natural regeneration, establishment of 1,000 hectares of bamboo forests. That's under the environment and natural resources. These are the figures. Then we go to the last sector, which is governance and public administration. Under governance and public administration, we have the integrated public complaints referral mechanism system, We have the police and housing mortgage scheme. On the police and prison housing mortgage scheme, the government targets provision of 5,000 affordable housing units for officers. Then we have public service reforms and upskilling. We have electoral and political processes. We have diaspora rights and welfare. On the diaspora rights and welfare, the government seeks to develop, implement, and monitor diaspora emergency and welfare. It also seeks to ensure 100% repatriation of human remains of deceased Kenyans. It also seeks to ensure 100% safe evacuation of distressed Kenyans abroad. And finally, operationalization of 10 safe houses for Kenyans in diaspora. Then we have administrative justice and access to information. We also have national cohesion and integration. We also have leadership, ethics, and integrated development. Another target is promotion of human rights through the Office of the Coroner General, Victim Protection. And then we have regional state law offices constructed, where the government seeks targets to construct 9 regional state offices and automation of legal services. We have judicial transformation, and we have others. We have group life insurance cover for National Police Service and prison officers. Under this, also the government targets provision of life insurance cover. We have establishment of specialized courts, where the government seeks to establish 5 specialized courts. We have, okay, I've gone through that. These are the figures. Now on to Kisii County. These are the projects that are contained in this plan for Kisii. 1, construction of 60 housing units at Kisii Main Prison. Development of Ogembo Market in Kisii County. Establishment of constituency ABMT training center in Rongo, Kisii County. Credit guarantee scheme, guaranteed 44, the government seeks to guarantee 44 loan valued at 57,617,000. We have the National International Financial Center. We have payments, ecosystems, interoperability. The government seeks to digitize all payments to the government to increase revenue collection, minimize the costs of collection, and enhance service delivery. Financing locally led climate action programs for climate financing. Aquaculture business development program to support level 1 farmers with fish production materials. Inua Jamii cash transfer. Aquaculture technology and development and innovation transfer. We have health infrastructure. Completion of comprehensive cancer management centers in Kisii County. Rural Kenya Financial Inclusion Facility. Financial inclusion and green investment by agriculture value chain stakeholders, leading to equitable employment opportunities, innovative and resilient production systems, and increased incomes for smallholders, poor and marginalized rural households, women and youth. We have establishment and operationalization of primary healthcare networks, the PCNs. We have the establishment of regional cancer centers, establishment of additional comprehensive cancer management center in Kisii County, construct additional tuition administration, hostel and skill labs, blocks in KMTC, Kisii campus. We have the establishment of all-in-one center of excellence for eye, hearing, and oral healthcare in Kenya. We have construction of a new hospital, clinical waste microwave project in Kisii in line with global efforts, is protection of human health and environment, as well as adopting mitigation measures which will intervene on climate change. The country has been using crude burning of waste as means of treating waste, which has been leading to both land and air pollution. Now, this is the implementation, monitoring, evaluation, and reporting. MTP4 is being implemented by respective ministries, departments, and agencies, and constitutional commissions and independent offices. Strategic plans, annual performance contracts, and annual work plans are the tools that will be used to guide the implementation of the fourth medium-term plan. County governments prepare 5-year county integrated plans. Also, the county governments, we have to ensure alignment to the Kenya Vision 2030 and the fourth MTP. And then finally, progress reporting on implementation of the MTP4 programs and projects will be conducted quarterly, annually, and other periodic reports. Thank you. That's my presentation on the data. Okay, with me, we have this MTP4 QR code cards. You are given when you are coming into the hall. You take your iPhone, you scan through, it takes you to the document. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bwana Director, Mr. Godad. I think tumesoma mengi leo, although naona mengine labda inatupita, but one thing I would like us to forget is about beta. Si beta tunajua, lakini leo tumesomeshwa even more about beta and the impact in the projects we are going to have in Kisii County. We are going to have a plenary after the presentations, so if you have any issues, you're going to present them at that time. Let me take this opportunity to invite the County Director of Planning, Mr. Peterson Nyakeri, so that he can take us through the County Integrated Development Plan in brief. So, karibu Bwana Director.
Good afternoon. We are going to take you through the County Integrated Development Plan, CIDP 3 of Kisii County Government. And before we do our presentation, because we'll be linking our CIDP with the MTP4 that we have just been presented, I'll wish to give an overview of our CIDP or where we have come from till now in terms of the CIDPs, so that my colleague will give the linkages of the MTP with the CIDPs. The Vision 2030, as we have been informed, began 2008 to 2012 to 2030, and it's implemented in 5-year phases. And the first MTB, as they have indicated, started in 2008 to 2012. That time we didn't have counties, and therefore, what we aligned our MTB1 with are the DDPs, District Development Plans, because at that time we had districts. So each district was supposed to prepare a district development plan, which was also aligned to the first medium-term plan, 2008-2003. That's why you can see CIDP, we are talking of CIDP 3, and they are talking of MTP 4. So our first County Integrated Development Plan, 2013-2017, lasted the first 5 years and was aligned to the second medium-term plan. And the second one we did 2018 to 2022, which we also aligned to medium-term 3. And now we are implementing the medium-term plan 3, 2023 to 2027, in line with the medium-term plan 4. So as you can see, there is no gap in planning, as the national government is planning through the medium-term plans, at the lower level, we are also planning through our CIDPs geared towards achieving the Kenya Vision 2030, because we are implementing the vision in 5-year phases. So in a nutshell, our CIDP is structured in 6 chapters. The first chapter is an overview of Kisii County, where it is located, neighboring counties, the climatical features, the population, and the projections of the population to the end of the planning period. We have also given the key areas of investment in that chapter. In the second chapter, we have talked of the achievements of the CIDP that just ended to inform lessons learned that as we implement the CIDP 3. In the third chapter, we have talked of the spatial planning, how the spatial framework, how are we aligning our projects and programs in a spatial framework. And in chapter 4, we are talking of projects, programs, and priorities. And this is where we are now going to single out our linkage with the MTP4. This is where we have come up with even the flagship projects. And in the presentation that is coming shortly, you will see how, as a county, we are implementing whatever we are doing in line with the medium-term plan 4. And then in the 5th chapter, we are talking of the institutional framework. How is the county integrated development plan going to realize whatever it has planned, whatever we have planned, which institutions are involved, which offices, how are we structured, geared towards the implementation of the vision of the CIDP 3. And then in the last chapter, chapter 6, we are talking of the monitoring, just as they have also indicated on the monitoring and evaluation and the reporting matrix. The projects and programs that we have captured in chapter 4 we are now indicating how we are going to track progress. At what time do we intend to have them implemented, and all the way through monitoring, through the indicators, all the way to the end of the planning period. And therefore, with that overview of the CIDP, we now want to see the relationship between our CIDP 3 and our MTP 4 that we have been taken through, so that we can see the linkages and see that in planning there is no gap. All of us are geared towards achieving the Vision 2030 through better, through medium-term plan, through the manifesto. Even the governor's manifesto, His Excellency the governor's manifesto, is talking of all these 4 areas. The priorities are wealth creation through agriculture, trade. We are talking of social development through the social pillar of the Vision 2030. CS gave us an elaborate understanding of the social pillar, education, health. We are doing through the manifesto of His Excellency the social development priority. We are also doing the environmental conservation, and that one has come out very clearly in the MTP4. And then we are doing the enablers and ICT, where we are talking of roads, infrastructure, ICT, and technology, which is also coming strongly in the MTP4. And finally, in the manifesto, in line with the MTP4, CIDP is the governance, devolution and governance, which also came out very clearly under governance and administration. Those are the priority areas, and all these are geared towards achieving the Kenya Vision 2030 at the lower level, and also at the national level. We are geared towards achieving the Kenya Vision 2030 through that phase of planning. Therefore, now, with that overview, I want to give my colleague Vincent Aminga to give the linkages of the MTP and the CIDP 3. Thank you.
Thank you. The Cabinet Secretary for Education, the representative of the County Commissioner, the Deputy County Commissioners present, the CECs and all other protocol observed. As you've heard, my name is Vincent Aminga. I'm going to take you through quickly on how the county is linked through the CIDP to the National Development Plan, which is the MTP4. As an introduction, Kisii County is located in the former Nyanza province, and it covers an area of 1,323 square kilometers. As of 2019, the census, it had a population of 1.266 million people, with the majority of the population being Kisiis. Waziri mentioned earlier, our gross county product contribution to GDP is at 2%, with agriculture contributing 45% of the county gross product, followed by trading. The trading sector contributes 42%. In terms of our density, Kisii County is among the most populated counties in the country, with a density of 957 persons per square kilometer, compared to the national figure of 82. We have 28% of the population being women of reproductive health, and also 4.3% being people living with disability. Our life expectancy is at 63%, with females at 64% and males at 62%. In terms of our infant mortality rate, it's at 50 per 100,000 live births, and for maternal mortality rate, it's at 131 per 100,000 births. Moving on to the linkages between the MTP4 and the beta and the CIDP3. As we were taken through earlier, we have 5 pillars. We've clustered our projects in the CIDP in the 5 pillars, and also in the various sectors which were mentioned earlier, including the financial production, infrastructure, social, environment and natural resources, governance, and public administration. So in the first beta pillar, agricultural transformation and inclusivity, we have quite a number of interventions, including value addition in agriculture, coming up with the county aggregation and industrial park, adopting modern agricultural technology, increasing connectivity in terms of water, constructing water schemes, and infrastructure development across the county. To the second pillar, which we are, as a country, we are very passionate about, affordable housing. As a county, we are contributing by providing land. We've done so in Nyanchwa, at Kisii prisons, and as well as at Ichuni, Nyarivari, Masawa. We are also going to provide the labor force that will be working in this construction, as well as infrastructure development in these areas, as well as other areas where we want to do an improvement of our roads to bitumen standards, including opening of various roads in the various areas. The third sector covers MSMEs, which again we are very passionate about. As a county, we want to look at ways in which we can remove various barriers to the cost of doing business within our counties. And also we are going to construct retail markets, as well as construct market sheds and toilets. We are also providing a trade credit scheme through the county trade credit scheme. We are also going to provide funds for women, people living with disability, and youth, to make sure that they are empowered to participate economically. We are also going, of course, that one again touches on the industrial park. Moving on to the digital economy, the digital superhighway and creative economy. In this, we are going to ensure that we improve our digital learning to make sure that we are equipped with ICT skills. We are going to improve ICT connectivity in government offices as well as the vocational training centers. We are also coming up with a skills and talent development academy within the Department of Culture. And we are also currently training youth on ICT in collaboration with the Ajiri Center. In health, we are looking at equipping the existing facilities with drugs, equipment, as well as personnel. And we are ready to transit from NHIF to SHIF and also work on the demand element of SHIF. And we want to supplement the national government community health promoters program as well. What are the opportunities that are available for the county? From a mention of the sectors that were presented earlier, we are looking at promoting innovation and value addition, especially in agriculture and as well as industrial development. We are also looking at how we can increase technology adoption to enhance digital and creative economy opportunities for the youth. Alongside that, related to that, we are looking at creating job opportunities for the youth, especially in the informal sector, and entrepreneurship, skills development for the youth. Skills and talent development is also another area that we are looking at as a county, which we can benefit from the MTP4, and we can work in collaboration with the national government. Another area is interventions for poverty reduction and social development, which again come out clearly in the MTP4 as well as in our CIDP. Infrastructure as a supportive element that will support MSMEs as well as aggregation and other service delivery in the county. And lastly, we are looking at enhancing medical insurance services within the county. So the priority sectors and value chains, looking at the first pillar under the better agenda. In agriculture, we are looking at various value chains, completing or initiating the Nyangweta Sugar Factory, having a banana value chain and a dairy value chain. In that same pillar, we are also looking at doing dams and water catchment projects, as well as edible oil value addition for sunflower specifically. In affordable housing, we are looking at doing affordable housing schemes, as I said earlier, at Ichuni, at Kisii prisons, and Nyancho as well. Under the Department of Health, we are also looking at doing a county staff affordable housing scheme. Moving on to MSMEs, we want to do our county industrial park and to refurbish the existing Kenya Industrial Estates land and the various industries that are contained within that land. We are also doing our retail market within our Kisii CBD and looking at the Kisii stone. By this I mean soapstone and granite value chain. Under the digital superhighway, we want to look at the talent academy for sports and innovation. In healthcare, we are looking at the regional cancer center that was earlier mentioned. We are also doing another project under the Kenya UK Health Alliance that is meant to be a center of excellence in disease surveillance, control and prevention. Alongside that, we will do a regional blood bank. What are the challenges in implementing the CIDP? We are looking at the resource gap, which we hope we can bridge through, number one, collaboration with the national government. Secondly, Secondly, through donor support and through direct investment within our county. The second challenge, as is for various counties, is unmet on-source revenue targets, and we are happy that the national government is ready to support us to make sure that we map all our revenue and have one system for collection. We are also having another challenge for the high wage bill. Attaining the 35% threshold as envisioned by the PFM Act is a challenge, and I'm sure not only for Kisii County. And lastly, the last challenge was on the county spatial plan, because if we do not plan clearly, we are likely to have people doing commercial services in agricultural land, which is likely to compromise our food security and our water catchment areas. So the recommendations, number one, I think as a country, all, I'm sorry, earlier here about the sea, I think we also need to move to MDAC so that we include counties among the government agencies, and I hope that is noted. So all the MDACs, that is including the county government, we need to embrace PPP, which is a very good way of financing our off-balance sheet investments in counties. So the county here is looking at developing a good policy to initiate investment, and also to have what we call the County Investment Forum and the County Investment Committee to look at that. We are also looking at broadening our donor base. I know at the county we have the World Bank, the NIDA, and the Development Bank, the KFW, supporting us. So we are looking at ways of enhancing our donor base. One way is through point number 3, where we are going to look at our resource mobilization function to make sure that we can work with PPP as well as direct investments within the county. Another recommendation, both for the national and county government, is for us to synergize the tax regime at the county and national level to ensure that we attract instead of driving out investment. We feel that as a county, we should not, for instance, tax asset ownership, but we tax the purchase of these assets. Also, we are going to encourage diaspora remittance, because the Kisii community, I think it has the largest diaspora community across the world. And lastly, is to enhance our local revenue. And we are happy the national government is doing something on that. But as a county, we are also trying to update our valuation role as well as automate various revenue streams. I think that is it for me. I will hand it back to the county commissioner.
Thank you very much, Vincent and Mr. Nyakeri, for the presentations. This is now the time to welcome the Cabinet Secretary, and I think it's only fair that we all rise up again, so that, it's not necessary. Okay, so let us welcome the Cabinet Secretary as well as the presidential speech.
Thank you very much for the presentation, Aminga. At least we understand better where we are as Kisii County. Part of what we are supposed to do in this workshop is a statement from His Excellency the President, which was made on the 21st of March 2024. And
goes like this. I'm delighted to preside over the launch of the fourth medium-term plan covering the period 2023-2027, which marks the final 5-year plan of the Kenya Vision 2030, launched in 2008. The Kenya Vision 2030 stands as our nation's ambitious long-term development blueprint designed to elevate Kenya into a newly industrializing middle-income country, ensuring a high quality of life for all citizens by the year 2030. This vision is grounded on economic, social, and political pillars, fortified by the key enablers identified to propel us toward our collective aspirations. Since its inception, significant progress has been achieved in realizing the goals set forth by the Kenyan Vision 2030 through the implementation of preceding medium-term plans. Yet, our economy continues to grapple with fundamental challenges, including widening inequality, low productivity, and susceptibility to economic shocks. These challenges demand urgent and resolute interventions to regain the ground and align ourselves with our aspirations. This is why, upon assuming office, our administration pledged to spearhead a radical economic turnaround, fostering inclusive growth and enhancing the livelihoods and welfare of all citizens, particularly those at the bottom of the economic pyramid. These commitments are intricately detailed within the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. Consequently, it became imperative to ensure that the MTP4, together with the county integrated development plans, are aligned with the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, objectives, and key priorities. Therefore, the fourth medium-term plan has translated the strategic objectives set out in our agenda into concrete programs and projects to be implemented in the plan period. The better plan calls for investments in 5 core strategic pillars: agriculture, healthcare, housing and settlement, micro, small and medium enterprises economy, and the digital superhighway and the creative economy. Without losing crucial time, the government has moved to undertake a number of interventions in the fulfillment of the commitment made to our citizens. This includes strengthening the independence of the judiciary and enhancing efficiency within the justice system, increased budgetary allocations to the judiciary, and granting financial autonomy to the Inspector General of Police. B. Reverting port operations for the standard gauge railway from Nairobi Inland Container Depot to Mombasa. C. Rolling out the ASRA fund to provide access to affordable credit to individuals and MSME, eliminating predatory lenders. D. Prioritizing the enhancement of the Women Enterprise Fund progressively from 4.5 billion to 13.5 billion in the next 3 years. E. Providing 5.5 million bags of fertilizer under the subsidized fertilizer program to improve agricultural yields at an affordable price of 2,500 a bag. F. Digitizing over 15,000 government services to enhance service delivery. G. Undertaking the construction of 1 or 3,000 affordable housing units countrywide. H. Formulation and implementation of a new funding model for tertiary education to address the needs of students, especially those from vulnerable backgrounds. The model has been used to provide financial support for first-year students joining tertiary institutions in 2023. I. Recruitment of 56,000 primary and secondary school teachers to improve the national teacher-pupil ratio and enhance educational reform outcomes. J. Operationalization of the National Open University of Konsa at Konsa Technopolis, which now has over 1,000 students enrolled. K. Enactment of the Social Health Insurance Act 2023, which establishes the Primary Health Care Fund, Emergency and Chronic Illness Fund, and the Social Health Insurance Fund to facilitate universal health coverage, as well as the rollout of primary health care networks
and deployment of 100,000 community health promoters. 8. During the fourth medium-term plan, the government will boost production through a value chain approach, targeting leather and leather products, textile and apparel, dairy, tea, rice, edible oils, through economy, minerals, forestry, construction, and building materials, among others. 9. Embassies will be given the promotion of agro-processing and the strengthening of extension services, provision of quality and affordable farm inputs, cooperative development and management, market access and logistics support, expansion of irrigation infrastructure, adoption of climate-smart agriculture, enhanced agricultural financing, and agricultural mechanization research and development. 10. To create employment, focus will be given to investment in special economic zones and county aggregation and industrial parks, diversification of export markets, and market access of MSMEs, goods and services. The government will also establish Jumuiya cross-border markets and strengthen cooperation with our traditional and new trade partner countries. 11. We will scale up the Financial Inclusion Fund, the ASRA Fund, with a view to actualizing its commitment to increase access to affordable credit for those at the bottom of the pyramid. Additionally, we will undertake reforms to create a favorable tax regime, deepen capital markets, improve the lending and investment environment, and attract investors at the Nairobi International Financial Center. 12. To increase efficiency and enhance mobility, the plan entails substantial investments in infrastructure development, particularly transport connectivity. This includes the construction of 6,000 of new roads, upgrading 11755 kilometers of existing roads, and the construction of 277 footbridges. 13. Climate change continues to pose serious challenges to our socio-economic development, manifested through extreme climatic conditions and erratic weather patterns, which disrupt production and livelihoods and put lives at risk. The fourth medium-term plan prioritizes investments aimed at building resilience against these challenges, including the construction of water ponds, more dams, and water harvesting structures in arid and semi-arid lands. 14. We have also launched a nationwide drive to grow 15 million billion trees by 2032 through the Just Summit campaign. This initiative will complement other ongoing efforts to protect the country's water towers. In this plan, we will implement robust initiatives to promote sustainable waste management practices and enhance pollution control measures. 15. Sustainable climate action not only addresses challenges but also presents opportunities for transitioning to green economy. We will leverage technological and scientific advances to stimulate economic transformation in a sustainable manner. 15. Other infrastructural projects to be implemented during the MTB4 period include the construction of 1 million affordable housing units and the laying of 4,600 kilometers of high voltage transmission lines and that substations to connect an additional 2.3 million Kenyans and 30,000 public institutions in the national grid. Additionally, an extra 100,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable will be laid as part of National Optic Fiber Backbone Infrastructure Program. 17. Access to quality and affordable health care remains a key priority, and the government will therefore expand the social health insurance scheme, focusing on the Afya Bora Mashinani model, targeting 10.8 million households, digitizing health services, and improving health infrastructure. Over 20,000 health workers will be recruited to support the health commodity supply chain. 18. On human capital development, our commitment is to achieve the following critical targets: recruit and train 116,000 teachers and automate the basic education system, expand technical and vocational education and training, and scale up admissions to the National Open University, as well as open distance and e-learning. In addition, the institutional framework for financing tertiary education has been adopted and will be strengthened. 19, recognizing the critical role of science, technology, and innovation in Kenya's competitiveness, we undertake to mobilize funding for research and development and enhance budgetary allocation of the sector towards the attainment of 2% of GDP in line with international accepted standards. The plan also includes building science and technology innovation parks and establishing a national center for innovation, technology transfer, and commercialization. 20. Kenya is a universally respected global sports powerhouse with the potential to dominate even more sporting and athletic disciplines. To support talent, sports, and the arts, the government will continue to implement Talanta Era, an initiative for monetizing talents and Pesa Mfukoni. We will also expand sports and arts infrastructure and promote sports tourism by supporting international sporting events. 21. On the creative economy, we are marketing Kenya as a film destination by establishing an incentives framework for the production of films and commercials, supporting the production of local content, establishing a national creative economy council, promoting artists' rights, and providing technical capacity for the growth of the creative industry. 22. With regard to affirmative action, the government will remodel and digitize the Youth Enterprise Development Fund, WESA Fund, Women Enterprise Fund, and the National Government Affirmative Action Fund to enhance financing for enterprises owned and run by youth, women, and persons with disabilities. The government will also reform the cash transfer programs to cushion the vulnerable in society. Recognizing the need to revitalize our tourism sector, the MTB4 prioritizes the promotion of meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions, cultural festivals, food exhibitions, and the development and marketing of unique niche experiences. The Bomas of Kenya will be converted into a modern conference, hotel, and exhibitions facility, and the KICC will be re-engineered to achieve more than it is currently. 24. Harnessing the potential of the blue economy is critical for our transformative growth agenda. During the MTP4 period, we will focus on establishing requisite infrastructure, enhancing skill development, and ensuring maritime safety and security. 25. I hold the firm conviction that by upholding the rule of law and efficient justice systems, the government will create a conducive environment for economic and social transformation. For this reason, we will enhance support for the justice, law, and order sector by recruiting additional police officers, prison officers, and national government administration officers. Additionally, we will modernize the Kenya Coast Guard and improve the welfare of security personnel. 26. To diversify resources of financing, the government will strengthen collaboration with the private sector and other non-state actors. We are committed to revitalizing the public-private partnership framework to attract more investors and support the implementation of government priorities in the MTP4. As we embark on the implementation of the fourth medium-term plan, we recognize the challenges posed by a dynamic global environment, including current and future geopolitical turbulence and regional conflicts with the potential to disrupt the global supply chains and exert inflationary pressures. We have formulated appropriate measures to mitigate the effects of global pressures on our citizens. 28. The emergence of pandemics, as evidenced by the COVID-19 outbreak, underscores the need to strengthen our healthcare systems. Our strategies for primary healthcare will fortify Kenya's health system to effectively respond to emergencies. 29. Kenya's development is intricately linked to the global economy, and we are therefore actively working to strengthen regional integration and international collaboration to facilitate the smooth movement of goods and services and deepen Kenya's foreign relations. 30, I take this opportunity to recognize the critical role of our development partners, the private sector, and other non-state actors, and I invite them to work with the government in implementing the commitments we have made to our citizens towards achieving robust economic growth and inclusive development. The fourth, na kimya simuseme, hii tuseme pamoja. The fourth medium-term plan, 2023-2027, is now officially launched. Thank you, and God bless you. God bless Kenya, and also the third county integrated development plan, Kisii County is equally and formally launched. Thank you very much. Sasa wapi representative wa governor? Na hata wa county government hawa hapo. Representative wa county national government. Sasa jameni, tunaingia plenary and then the way forward. I hope we will take very few minutes. Probably we have 7 questions at most, so that we try to answer them, or in case you have a comment, and then from there we come the way forward, and that will be the end of the day. So, moderator, ni questions now.
Kama iko maswali, maoni ama Mr. Ningetaka tuonyeshane kwa mkono ndio tujue ni nani na nani tunapatia nafasi. We have one here, this row. This row tuko na nani? We have 2, there 3. So maybe you can start from this row first.
Good afternoon. My concern directly goes to county level. There are 2 things. One will be, as we move forward towards the implementation of the MTP and marrying it with the CIDP, my view will be that they form committees, sector-based committees, merging national and national county officials at the county level to assist in the implementation phase.
Thank you. My name is Athos, representing Youth Fund, and my concern, as I'm working with the young people.
Excuse me, ningeomba usimame ndio tukuone.
Okay.
So my name is Atos Mogoi from Youth Fund. The issue is I've been working with
Amos?
Atos Mogoi, the county coordinator, Youth Fund. So the issues I'm saying on the digital economy, we've been training a number of young people, and their main complaint is that the government has not been able to be very fast in having policies and regulations regarding online work, and they have complained that they have lost a lot of money because remote task was closed. So my recommendation is that now that the CS is here, to take that recommendation so that we have policies and guiding online jobs so that our young people are able to benefit from that niche. Thank you.
This row, kuna any concern, any opinion or questions? This row ndio tuenda tukimaliza. Okay, we have a bwana administrator hapa.
Thank you, sir. My name is Isaac Ohateli, Assistant County Commissioner, Nyamarambe. Actually, I want to give a recommendation in regard to health sector development. I'll wish to recommend that because during the licensing of alcoholic drinks outlets across the county, there were recommendations that some of the outlets did not meet the health requirements and were recommended to be closed. So I wish to urge the county government, which is the licensing authority, actually to adhere to the recommendations and close down, because this one will cause a health hazard to our people. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My name is Justin Omwenga. My concern is on environment and natural resources. When I was seeing the projected targets, I saw there was a time we were at around 10.3. We came down and we are projecting to go up. What are the interventions which went wrong then? And what can we do to improve on environment and natural resources to achieve the set targets? Thank you.
Thank you. I also want to be a bit outside than what you are discussing, because where you are here, this is a national institution, Kihbit, and we are so privileged to have our CS who is directly involved to this institution, and the institution requires to be elevated, because I know the past institutions like KST, the way they grew, it's because of the senior government members who came up with ideas, and they had to elevate the institution. So we equally want this institution to be known that it's a national institution, and it's TVET compliant. It has really supported so many our young kids, our young students. It has really made many young boys and girls to grow here and even outside. So we are requesting for being a privilege today that we have got our CS to also remember this institution that is his. This is an institution that trains so many. God bless you. I'm Susan Gekonge.
two more from this side now.
Your Excellency, all protocol staffs, I greet you. My representative, mimi na walemavu, tumekuwa na changamoto katika kaunti yetu ya Kisii. Ningeomba Bwana Machogu ukaweze kutusaidia. Tuko na walemavu wengi wanataka kwenda shule, but we have a challenge. Tuko na shule kidogo sana ambao hao watoto wanakuwa mixed na hizi mashule zingine. So ningependa kukuomba kama mimi mlemavu utusaidie mashule mingi na walimu ambao wanaweza kufunza watoto ambao wako na ulemavu. Asante sana.
Urban Blast.
CS Bwana Machogu and all protocols observed. I'm Eric Ambrose Intabo, the chairperson of BWD's Kisii County. My concern is on data. We have been saying that we have a certain percentage of BWDs, but now which was the last data taken such that we can know that Kisii County has 4.5% of BWDs. So we are asking the county government and the national government to have proper data such that we can plan for the BWDs within Kisii County and Kenya. So in conjunction with that data, also we have a mess during the assessment of BWDs at our KTRH. Our BWDs are asked for some fee such that they can be assisted to be assessed as BWDs by the National Council. So I ask our CS if you can interject and help whether we can have some waiver for the BWDs to be assisted, because if we have that data, then it will assist us to know the number of BWDs within the county, and then they will be assisted according to their needs. So we are saying of sports, Kisii County, BWDs, they don't practice sports, so we are asking for the budget. The budget should be increased on sports such that they can also participate in sports, and also they can gain some income other than sitting idle. So also NHIF is going to shift. I am requesting both county government and national government to assist the BWDs to be registered such that they can be given a free and affordable health care. And that one will be good for our BWDs. So I have a lot to say. I also, when we come to I heard of the county government saying of the credit scheme. They were saying that they may have some funding. So I was requesting if that funding could be increased, such that for those PWDs going for tenders, they can be given that amount to do that tender, also perform the tender they are purchased for. Then later, that scheme can withdraw their amount that they are given to this person. So I was also requesting the CS, the BWDs within Kisii County need to meet you such that they can explore more on education. Because when it comes to employment of teachers, then our BWD teachers are discriminated. So we need an urgent meeting with you such that we can explore more on education and health. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Our CS Education, Secretary Machogu. I have one issue I want to address. It's because I don't know where I start from, but it's because you are here and you are our CS from the region. There is an industry for Coca-Cola, Kisii bottlers, that is lying idle for the last more than 10 years. And that industry actually used it to help many young people for employment. People used to work there, many people. And we actually have seen the president reviving some industries in western places, Mumias and what have you. I really don't understand that this facility in Akahapa, it doesn't help us for the last 10 years. Can't you, as a CS, you help us so that our young people can be employed there? Because it's lying idle, and it's a very big facility. Thank you.
The last one.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. My name is Martin. I come from South Mugrango. I keep wondering, when we are talking about value addition, South Mugrango happens to be a place where widely known soapstone is mined. And for a long time, the middlemen have exploited that mineral that the owners of the place feel that there could be something to be done by the Ministry of Mining so that the value addition benefits the locals of that region. And two, there is also this aspect of sugar industry that was highlighted by the county government. It's also a milestone that has also been forgotten. The land is prepared all the time, but nothing seems to take off. Maybe those responsible could respond on this issue. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much for raising very good questions. I will be able to answer a few. CC Ondabu and the county team will answer the others, and my team from Nairobi will also be able to answer where I might not have covered. One is the proposal that we have sector-based committees. I'm in agreement with you totally, because in order for us to be able to actualize the plan, may it be at the national level or at the county level, there must be those sectoral committees. Each and every time, following up that in actual fact, the proper timelines are being followed, and therefore, I agree that these sector-based committees should be in place. In national, like in my ministry, I'm working under a performance contract, which has been given to me by His Excellency the President. So almost each and every week, after 2 weeks, I'm able to sit down with my team, the technical people here, such that I understand what progress we have made, what the challenges we are forcing in implementing the plan, and how we can be able to mitigate on those particular challenges. So it's necessary that we have these particular committees in place, such that in the case of any such challenges during the time of implementation is on digital work. You are very right. Where we are as government now is excellent, the President of the Republic of Kenya, in order to address the problem of employability, because a number of young men in this country are unemployed. So he came up with a very special program where our young people are supposed to be exposed and equipped with digital skills and competencies, which will then enable them to access international online jobs. We have over 1 million jobs out there, in America, in Europe, in Asia, and there are companies offering these jobs. Once you get into your computer or smartphone, and then you answer a few questions here and there, you are able to earn dollars. We did a major launch here in Kisii National Polytechnic, which was done by none other than His Excellency the President, where we provided, I think, 200 computers, where our young people in that particular college are now, they have been trained. The training takes about 1-2 months only, and then from there now you can start working online. It doesn't interfere with your normal running, such that whatever course they are undertaking, they continue with their courses, and they get into their computer 1 hour, 2 hours, and then from there they are able to earn some income. I was in Kihbit National Polytechnic on a Tuesday of this week. There are students. One is earning the tune of 200,000 Kenya money. I think the only person earning that much here is Ondabu. Ndio sijui kama umefika hapo karibu. Sasa unajua hata CS niko hapo sasa, somebody is earning that. I was in Kaimosi. We were with the president at Webuye West, where we commissioned and launched the same program, the Tume program, because it also depends on personal initiative. Such that you are given the infrastructure, you are given the hardware, the software. It now depends on you, your hard work, your initiative, in order for you to be able to earn. And the thousands of our youth are now on that particular program. I agree with you that as a government, we require to come up with some kind of policy. It's something actually we have discussed with my brother CS Owaro, because as it were, in this one, I'm providing the hardware and they provide the software, because the computers come from him. I'm asking our good people, Kisii County, to take advantage of this. We are bringing computers. We have brought for Karoka. I did the launch personally, Ekorogie. I've done 2 other TTI institutions here in Kisii. So we are asking our young people to take advantage. And we have even come up with a program where we are saying digital hubs that we have had, such that in every ward, the purpose of which those young people who cannot be able to be in a TTI institution can be able to go there, 300, 500 of them, and we have them enter this program where they access online jobs. The health sector, I think the county government will enter this. The alcoholic outlets, a question raised by the Deputy Assistant County Commissioner. Yes, improve the tree coverage. In Kisii, you know our target is 15 billion. Kisii, we have a target. And I want to appeal to the county government. Kisii, you know we are in danger. We are in danger in 2 fronts. One front is that our parcels of land are shrinking each and every day. Population density, as given to us by my friend Aminga, is at 957 people per square kilometer. The highest ever in any part of the world. Not only here in Kenya, sisi ndo tunaongoza, but in the entire world. In actual fact, Kisii is becoming like a rural slum, like a Kibera of some kind. And that's why any one of us who is a little bit able, I tell people one way. If you have an opportunity of moving out of here, don't go squeezing yourself in half an acre, in quarter an acre. Go to the neighboring counties, in Kilgoris, go to Kuria, where now 1 acre of land and is as productive as Kisii, if not more. 300,000 Get yourself an acre, 2 acres, because that is the only way. Because if we continue subdividing and subdividing, it means we are not going to be food secure in the very near future. We say yes, we have to plant the trees, but again, the right variety of trees, because eucalyptus is a water vessel. Our rivers inakauka karibu yote, and the water is rife. So that is one other area I think representative of the governor, as the county, you have to focus on, because if it is left unattended, no action taken, and we have planted eucalyptus programs up to the river, the little water we have is not going to be there. If we continue putting houses, and you can see one at the ear is putting up a toilet, the other one downstream is putting up a borehole, contamination of water. Even we are not safe. So I think again that is the county to do. This particular institution, I've heard you. I think we will require to interact more, such that from the national level, where we require to assist in elevating and upgrading this particular institution, why not? That one, Susan Gakonge, I assure you, I've taken note of it. Special needs education, Madam, I've also heard you. I know there are many types of disability. There are those who say they can be able to get into the integrated school system where we have other normal children, and there are those who have to stay in standalone institutions. So again, it's something you have reminded me. I have to look at it because it also falls to a certain extent in my ministry, and then from there I can be able to see what I can be able to do. Number 7 from Eric, I think that is a question for the county. The representative of the governor will be able to answer that. Data particularly pertaining to people with disability, said it is 4.5%, but then we require the proper figures. Meeting, yes, anytime I'm around here home, you can be able to make a point through my personal assistant to see me. Coca-Cola, yes, is something which is troubling all of us. We are saying 2030 vision, where as Kenya, as a county, we are looking at certain aspects that will be able to contribute to the economic growth of our county. One of them is if we get a Coca-Cola back. Coca-Cola is a private company, as you know. Government cannot influence, but there was a discussion when His Excellency the President was in America the other week, and they said they are pumping in another over 20 billion to expand their activities here in Kenya. Is something we have been thinking about. The local leadership, me included, and the governor and others, we will take it up and see whether we can be able to get it back, because for the economy of this county, I think it is rightly and rightly so something that we should be able to pursue. God willing, if we get a positive answer, the better for us. Martin, the soapstone, I've had a discussion with the Minister for Mining, with the PS. In actual fact, again, the other day when we had a group of investors from Nyanza, the main discussion was also on soapstone. Even when I was in the University of Nairobi during the Innovation Week, a young man known as Momanyi really impressed me, because that young man has gone out of his way looking for market, international for the soapstone. He has gone ahead to improve the kind of quality of the products coming out of that place. So it's something which I know we have a gold mine in Tabaka, but we have not been able to make proper use of it. We are discussing, and I hope with the time something will be able to come out for the benefit of the county and the country at large. The sugar industry, I'm sure again, the county will be able to answer that. But again, as a government, I know you have known the trajectory that we are taking, because particularly government owned. When I was in Migori yesterday, one of the questions was, why can't the government get Sony to be under the county government? You know, all these factories that are owned by the public, by the government, have not been performing. Yes, the farmers get their sugar, they have it delivered to the factory, the sugar is made, it is sold, but again, the farmer is never paid, the workers in that particular factory are never paid, so each and every year, they depend and come for a payout from national government, from the exchequer. And we have said no, moving forward, government cannot be able to continue pumping in money to enterprises which are supposed to be commercial, to enterprises which are supposed to be self-supporting. And we have therefore said, even if it means an investor who will be able to promptly pay the farmer, 2, promptly pay the worker, 3, have a bonus paid to the sugarcane farmers the same way that we have bonus for tea. So that is where we are. I know the one who was supposed to come from South Mugarango was a private person, I think, with a little bit of support from the county. And we are saying, why is it that those private sugar factories are making a profit, but those which are owned by the public, by the government, are not able to make any profit? That mentality we have, where we say, in Maria Uma. So kila mtu anaingiza mkono, such that by the end of the day, you find we are not able to make progress. I hope I've covered a few. I will now ask the representative of the governor to answer the ones I've not done.
Thank you, Honorable CS. In fact, you have covered almost all. But I want to just give some information about the ICT, that as a government, the Kisii government, the governor initiated the Achila ICT, which is within Kisii County, and that one has gone as far as being extended to one of the wards. We have gone to Isibeno. Graduation has been done, and what the CS says is very important, that we move to all wards. And I think with the support you have now given us and direction, I hope that one will continue to grow, so that our youth are compliant with ICT. There's something I wanted to mention about the ECD classes. She said of ECD class special classes. That is, those young children need special education. And the CS has mentioned it. But I want to say that the schools we have for ECD classes are very few within the county. We need to increase them. We have one at Yanjere, another one at Bobasi. We have Kisii Primary also, but we need to increase. There's a lot of need that we need these special classes in ECD. And we have discussed that one at our cabinet level. And I think once that budget goes through, we'll be able to have special classes in ECD. There is something the cabinet secretary mentioned about BWD, and I think you have also requested that once he comes around, you have a meeting so that you discuss with him, but you will get special records, proper records on what, when were these records taken and how many are there, about the waiver and the sports for PWD. I think Waziri Elik, you have been in that docket. You know, we have discussed about it, and that one needs some budgeting so that we can also go ahead with it. Maybe lastly, although the CS left us that one for us, it's about sugar industry. This one goes with the budget. It's not an issue that we can discuss here, but it's a matter of concern, very concerned that South Mogrango, that sugar industry has been talked over and over. We'll take in that information also from this meeting and discuss it further, so that there will be some budget to come up with that industry instead of talking about it now and again. I think most of the things the Cabinet Secretary has talked about them, I don't want to repeat, but I want to say that this is a very good forum, that we have found time to discuss a lot. And some of these issues are still in the program, the program we have been given here. Most of them are there. So thank you so much, and may God bless you.
National.
So you've answered everything. Thank you. You've answered everything. Thank you.
Asante sana. Jameni, mfumirie kidogo, because we are now on the way forward. And after that, 1 or 2 remarks ndio tufunge. Hata mimi lazima niwe Kisumu by 7 ndio niweze kuelekea Nairobi leo jioni. Today we have participated in the dissemination of the 4th MTB for the period 2023-2027. We have also had a presentation of the CIDP for Kisii County covering the same period. I know that the 2 documents are well aligned and the priorities for county are clearly identified. Both the MTP4 and the CIDP are based on the value chain approach. Simply put, value chain requires a production process to link production, processing, marketing, and consumption. 3, what this means is that we should not only focus on production of a good or a service, but also be mindful of processing and marketing. Implementation of MTP4 and the CIDP therefore demands that as a county we should be able to identify value chains to prioritize as indicated in the CIDP. Once we have the value chain, there will be need to dedicate, activate resources, both financial and human, to ensure that our value chains operate at international level. Under a globalizing world, we need to produce at international level if our goods and services are to be competitive regionally and indeed globally. Always remember, we are competing with the best in the world, and we must be at our very best. Our produce needs to enter the EAC, the African market, under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, and the international market. In my view, this demands a review of the kind of technologies we are currently using so as to modernize as appropriate. It will also be necessary to aggregate our production within the county and from produce in the neighboring counties to achieve economies of scale. For example, the county can aggregate all bananas grown in the region and to value addition and export to niche markets. Financing the MTB and the CIDP will be a challenge given the very tight fiscal space. I propose that the county government should strengthen the financial management system through automation for revenue correction, seeding of leakages, better targeting of investment, and also it will be necessary to explore
at a novel financing, including from private sector and from diaspora, because this county, Kisii, has quite a number of people out in the diaspora. Finally, it will be necessary to ensure that the MTP4 is disseminated to all corners to the lower level to ensure that all people in this county are able to participate in one way or another in the implementation of this particular plan. Because, as it were, we are about 100 people here. Jesus, when he was with the wood message, he appointed 12 disciples, and today we are over 2 billion. So from 100 people here, kindly ensure that we disseminate this particular information to get to each and every corner, each and every part of our county, Kisii. Na nikimaliza kabisa, nimalizie sasa. Jameni, mmesikia ile changamoto ambayo tuko naye katika kaunti ya Kisii. Changamoto moja ambayo tuko naye, watu ndio hao, population density ndio hiyo 957 people. Chakula sasa imeanza kuleta changamoto, because sisi few years ago Kisii was able to be self-sufficient as far as food was concerned, but today we are actually importing food. Kweli uongo? Si leo tunaanza kununua chakula kutoka nje? Kwa hivyo county lazima sasa mbinu itafutwe. How do we revitalize, how do we commercialize, how do we improve our agriculture to a level where the little sambas we have, we can be able to produce enough. Because food security is one such key thing that we have to do as a county before we have to think of all other aspects of development. Vile wenzangu, mimi waambia watu sisi ni mandugu. Fuata mfano wa president wa Kenya William Samoei Ruto. Niliambia wale ambaye viongozi wa county last year kwamba sasa mambo hili ambayo ilikuwa ya uchaguzi ile liisha. Alitayareta kwa senu mwege tomoto. Na kwa sababu Machogu anajua hiyo, ndio nikachukua governor, nikachukua deputy wake, nikachukua members of parliament from both sides of the divide, nikapeleka kwa president, nikapeleka kwa deputy, na nikapeleka president akaniambia sungusa wao ministry. Governor alikuweko, hawa wachumbe walikuwa, tukaenda kwa minister wa transport pamoja na PSS wake na director general, tukaketi. Shughuli yangu ni nini? Ni vile maendeleo itafika Kisii kutoka ile wizara. Tukaenda Ministry of Water, vile hivyo CS na PS wake na CEOs tukaketi pamoja. Tukaenda Ministry of Health. Hata ile ni wajia, mimi najua nikifuata kitu lazima nafuata mpaka mwisho. Cancer Center haiko mbali, hivi karibuni tutakuja kufanya round na president, kwa sababu hata president mwenyewe amekuwa akifuata sana. Vile tukaenda governor, members of parliament, mpaka wapi? Mpaka kwa minister mwenyewe pamoja na wale ambao wanafanya kazi pamoja na yeye. Mambo ya housing, tukaenda kwa minister wa lands and housing, nikipeleka hawa vile hiyo mambo ya stima. Kisii County as this year government has allocated 1.2 billion. Na haya nikawatengenezea njia, nikawaambia sasa Machogu hawezi pepa ninyi mkono kile pahali, sasa kiende. Information ICT kwa ndugu wara ambaye tulikuwa hapa na yeye last year. Nikamwambia mambo ya kuweka wifi internet katika kila market sasa enda imetengeneza njia. Hiyo ndio njia, ndugu yangu. Tukiendelea kufikiria kama jamii, ile siasa ilikuisha, ati mimi ndio nilikuwa pingwa, mimi ndio nilikuwa nini, hii haitasaidia sisi. Ile kitu ambayo utakumbukwa naye ni moja. Kama umepewa kazi ya CEC, umesaidia gavana namna gani kutimiza hii plan? Au wewe umekaa hapo tu na unapiga kelele, unapiga siasa? Sasa siasa itakupeleka wapi? Macho umoroje na siasa, macho wanashughulika na kazi yake. Ikaroko ile macho wewe asine kazi yako agokora. Undabu namanya teka na lenge obodisi, undabu umuntu na rukumbwa ko number 1. Si wakati ule kama ni mambo ya maendeleo, kama ni mambo ya nini, hata head of state commendation ya kwanza nilipewa ni hapo. Wakati watu wa Nyaribari wanipatia nafasi pesa ya CDF, ikawa Nyanza Machogu anaongoza. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu kama umepewa nafasi, naamini lazima utumikie kwa njia ambayo inatakikana. Hata nikapewa chairman ya committee Punge, na kwa sababu ya huko ile nilikuwa nafanya hapa na Punge, tena nana alitambulika kutoka hapa kupewa CPS. Kwa sababu mroje ngana tete lero Machogu alia sale naro jumuntu getenga inga Machogu amesingisia amatemu tu asogeti umutinyu kabere ono muntu yakari ku umutinyu ruju karusita kagitari bitinale naende abana bagusiyonya baeta Machogu bubeka Machogu ikaransa matengo sembara baikaransa ono ubu bakora rende ngagia ko rubube inga Machogu amesingisia, lakini kwa nali gere ngaranga none nongere na moga dagete kiara tiganya kora mtuiga ntutuka neretikero muntu nama amaya abantu bamintu hapana jali maneno ya siasa. Kama Machogu iko pahali atakusaidia hapana jificha. Hii mtu ni makoyo ane huyu ndabu tani makoyo ane huyu gawate sister yana inkoma tenga none kwa renge semeri nenje nkaba sasa sigo umepata na Machogu ni mkubwa hapa mbube kiboro usema bona takunya kuibisa kuligiri kando nga nerebona ura abasa kubune kabusa nege ndo kubune kanga kariziki. Sasa unajitokeza unasema yale tulikuwa tunafanya yaliisha. Hata siasa ya Kisii jameni, punguza temperature, kwa sababu mimi utembea kila sehemu ya nchi hii ya Kenya. Naenda na keti tunaketi na gavana au ni wasemuira au sehemu hii, na Kenya yote ukiangalia inakuja pamoja. Kenya asirigereti wana bantu baminda bagusi inga yoro cherigereti lero papa inga gutara nerero ngari ne siasa si kitu ya kuweka kwa roho. Vile mtu mmoja alisema, sijui ni senator wa Singisu, unaweka kwa amana weka kwa roho ni kitu ambayo inakuja na inaenda unafuta, lakini undugu ikae tuweze kufanyia watu wetu mema. Lero tinduko ta mange na chota banga igari na korega nyora naenda bagusina wako baba tango montoli na korete iga mwarangu gara muri bwali Punge nga wakorega uchiseino bona lero tinduko karaki, lakini gone minute ngatokora kero muntu taruetia saruete kumuranche tubwaterane tusirane ntuna kogengana kiagera kogengana ngotokonya alia sema je wali gokonya enga kitoroe toirubura yobonenke siza itakuja itakuwa mwisho diribuga ikiro maero na kwa lenge sisi makoyo note benga ulifanya kitu fulani Machogu bono bunande Minister Education ukiniuliza kutoka CPC, kutoka ile ambayo tumefanya tertiary TVET, ile ambayo nimefanya university nikikueleza utasema hii ndume iko kazi, lakini tindi muntu weyaka geku abantu bandu mete bari trauma
akugunkwara lakini kasita kwa riki go kumuranche abana ba minto tuanchane from national government tubwaterane county bwaterane na governor be kalibira ligi yaigo se gichikeane erinde tonyorenga tubwate nafasi tokora abantu ba minte gashingia tusukikise county ngakitoro na lia bana kaeka bakurigeri kurunsa abantu bakurigeri batanga haya oyo nalenge chief officer oyo nalenge county executive officer, he did well during his time na bakire mbuya mono wanongolengi commissioner, we thank you very much with the entire team, and we will again be coming back because hii county tatu Migori tuliagana na governor alisema mipango yake fira amefanya, in another 3 months tunaenda tena kukombea notes. So even here I will also come so that we are able to compare notes. Si kwamba iko mtu nasema wewe hujafanya wewe, hapana, hiyo si kazi yangu. Ejitari kazi ane anukubwa anukubwa tera makoyo nige ntumwe bagote abalero Migori nisikia walisema what they are given from national government each and every year is 8.1 billion, and from the development partners they are also able to get 1.2 billion, and also from their local revenue their target is 600 million, they are able to get 420 million. And there is this donor money ambayo nayo sikusikia mkisema hii ya climate change hii inaitwa FRO. Migori wamepata 300 million, Nyamira walisema 200 and what? Nyamira walisema something like 200 something million. Kisii kama wale niliona ripoti yao wamechenga 24 boreholes solar powered. So vitu kama hii, kwa sababu pesa iko kama hiyo pesa iko kwa sababu najua muhimu watu wanajua. Nyamira walituambia they get 7 billion from national government each and every year, and again their target is 350 million local revenue. So far they have been able to get 284 million. Siwaambii mtuambie leo, wengine tukija wakati mwingine mtatuambia. Kwa hiyo mengi jameni, tunasema asante. Mungu awabariki, ni heshima kubwa. Tuko mandugu, tuendelee kupendana na kutenda yale ambayo tunahitaji kutenda kwa watu wetu wa Kisii na watu wetu wa Kenya. Asante na Mungu awabariki. Tutakuwa hapa most likely kama hii cancer center itakuwa na project nyingine na angalia Kisii itakuwa part of the program. Kiagara Nyamira aliasanalenge mombori nga kiota aleta Kisii. There is a program ambayo ilikuwa imeangamia wakati Professor Ongeri sokore analenge Minister of Education na liege ndegia chagete bali muruete Nyamira muganza kubunga Kuwait kigacha kigasira. So ngakina agende ministry ngakibwatie president kerengaki nkomate binde ngwa kale simi bono Nyamira. We are launching a program egocha konyora chiskuru chitu 69 secondary primary schools ranging from 10 to 40 million per school. Chiskuru 69, the total amount they are getting is 1.9 billion. Gongoja turu Nyamira for around next month. Our cancer center is we are also coming with the president so that we can be able to make the launch. Iho nyasaba seni president netu anjete kusia entonke yituko muholi monange intu kidogo tukole mina lakini uchimutoro gendo mbuyarole kumuranche tubwatana na tusikia seito ya Kenya mtu. Asante na Mungu awabariki.
Asante Bwana Waziri. Nafikiri tumekuja kumaliza shughuli ya leo, and we thank you very much Bwana Waziri for coming na kwa kukaa na sisi tangu tuanze mpaka tumalizie. We thank you very much on behalf of the county commissioner. We thank you very much. We also thank the county government for being here with us na kushirikiana tuweze kumaliza hii hafla, and we thank also the institution here for hosting us, and we thank all of you for coming and being patient enough. Maybe before I invite the person who is closing with prayers, ningetaka tu kusema nimeshukuru sana vile umetuambia. I think with your detailed explanation tumepata mambo kadhaa, and one thing I have got is that we contribute 0.7% of the GDP. Hiyo inakaa kidogo sana. I think what it means is that tukitolewa ni kama hakuna impact kwa national economy. You know, that is what it means. Kama ni 0.7%, it means Kenya ingine yote ndio inashikilia sisi. So it looks like the revenue we get from the national government labda hata ni nyingi kuliko hiyo 0.7. So nani ananyonya mwingine? I think what we need to do is implement these plans very closely. Na vile waziri amesema tuko na kibarua kikubwa sana. Tuko na kibarua kikubwa, na vile ametuambia hapa mambo ya mashamba yetu ni kidogo na we have challenges. I think we need to work very closely to see how we can double that. At least ndio tukienda nje tunasema hata sisi tuna contribute kitu. Lakini tukikaa na 0.7% alafu tu shamba zetu ziwe ndogo, tutaenda 0.5, which is very, very serious. So with those few remarks, let me invite Susan Nyekonge akuja tufungie na maombi. And for announcement, before she closes, kuna announcement. We have lunch, late lunch or dinner for the participants ambao iko hapa. And transport reimbursement is to be sent to you through the details you have given there. Ile namba ya simu, mutapata reimbursement. Thank you very much and God bless you.
Thank you. Let's stand for a word of prayer. Our gracious Father above, we want to thank you because, Lord mighty, you love us the way we are. Thank you, Lord, because you've been with us this morning. Thank you because of journey mercies that you granted each and everyone who came here because of this occasion. Thank you for our CS and all the dignitaries that attended this meeting today because of the improvement of Kisii County and the other counties. And I wish that you intervene to each and everybody, that whatever they are placed be implemented and helps our children as we wait for the second coming of Jesus. Lord mighty, we pray that you be with us. The same journey mercies you granted each and everyone is what we pray for, so that you grant them as they go back. Again, as we are winding from this meeting, we pray that, Lord, the meal that you are going to share, we pray that you bless the meal as we believe in Jesus' name. Amen.
Asante Muliranti Buya.